Hello, this is Richard Duke and Esau Bajalia, and we are going to speak today on. I'm going to look at my notes, and we've got scriptures at the bottom, I hope, of the post. We're going to talk about Jacob stealing the uh, blessing from his father, from Esau, uh, and what was said there, what was said about Jacob. And then we're going to move to Jacob's dream about the ladder. And then we're going to John in the New Testament and get the comments made by Jesus himself. So I'm going to begin by reading some scriptures. Genesis 27:30 through 35, the stolen blessing. Now it came about, I may skip a few verses. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had hardly gone out from the presence of his father, Isaac, that his brother Esau came in from hunting. Then he also made a delicious meal and brought it to his father. And he said to his father, quote, "Let my father arise and eat his son's game, that you may bless me." His father Isaac said to him, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am your son, your firstborn, Esau." Then Isaac trembled violently and said, "Who then was he who hunted game and brought it to me, so that I ate from all of it before you came and blessed him? Yes, and he shall be blessed." So that's a firm statement there. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried out with an exceedingly great and bitter cry and said to his father, "Bless me as well, my father." And he said, "Your brother came deceitfully, Mirmah." You think that's the way you pronounce that?
Mirma. Yeah, it's a Hebrew word that means um
Well, I got,
it's
I got to,
yeah.
yeah, I'll tell him. He
Okay.
said, "Your brother came deceitfully and has taken away your blessing." Mirmah means deceiving, fraud, craft, deceit, false, feign, guile. You like that one.
Mhm.
Subtlety, treachery. So the point we want to make here is about his what the father said about Jacob. You want to
Right.
elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, the deception is part of why this is the main reason why Jacob's name was changed from Jacob. If you can imagine, for example, growing up and your son's name is Deceit, that's what Jacob means, deceit or beguile or guile. Then in Hebrew, Mirma, then can you just imagine calling your children to lunch and they're out playing and the mom saying, "Come on in and eat lunch, Deceit." It's not these are all bad terms, not good terms to use. And so consequently his name was changed from Jacob to Israel mainly for that reason.
Now, this will come in important. Remember this, because of statements that Jesus is going to make, actually
Yes.
more than one. And it's really important when we get to what Jesus says. And we have a big main point of this, and
Right.
Asa will
Right.
make that point.
Yeah.
Of course, I know what it is,
Right.
but
And one of the other places where this is really prevalent is in the garden with Adam and Eve when God spoke to them both after they ate the fruit from the tree. And the scripture says that Eve was beguiled, she was deceived. It's a treacherous way to deal with somebody, a very subtle way to deal with someone with the intent of ulterior motivation for the good of the person doing the deceiving and not for the good of the person who was deceived.
next we will read Jacob's dream, Genesis 28:10 through 13. Then Jacob departed from Beersheba and went toward Haran.
Yes.
And he happened upon a particular place and spent the night there, because the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of the place and made it a support for his head and lay down in that place. And he had a dream. And behold, a ladder was set up on the earth with its top reaching to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it, ascending and descending on it. Then behold, the Lord was standing above it. That's very important.
Yeah, it's very
We'll
important.
come back to that.
Yes.
And behold, the Lord was standing above it and said, quote, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie, I will give to you and to your descendants.
Right. Right.
So that's
a commitment that God made to Jacob or to Israel.
next is, and hopefully this video won't be so long.
Right.
John 1:44 through 51. Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, we have found him, capital H, you know who that is, him of whom Moses wrote in the law, and the prophets also wrote, Jesus, the son of Joseph, from Nazareth. Nathanael said to him, quote, can anything good be from Nazareth, end quote. You want to kind of tell maybe what
Yeah,
that meant?
there was the same thing said about Bethlehem. When a city was belittled because of its size, because of its insignificance in people's thinking, then they would say make comments like, "Can anything good come out of this place?" Like, what kind of place is this that anything good should become out of it? And that's what the conversation was between Philip and Nathaniel. And Philip was introducing the fact that he had found the one that was promised through the old covenant, through Moses and through the prophets, meaning Jesus, and Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. And this is why Nathaniel made the comment, can anything good come out of Nazareth? It wasn't that Nazareth was a wicked place, it just was insignificant.
So read that again. Can anything good be from Nazareth? Philip said to him, come and see. Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, quote, here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit.
No guile, no deceit.
So we just got through talking about deceit. So do you want to say something now? Or?
Yeah, I want to just emphasize this point, because as soon as that Jesus made the announcement of who Nathaniel was, and Jesus knew prophetically that this was Nathaniel, the one who was sitting under the fig tree. And when Nathaniel approached him, Jesus began to highlight the characteristics that he already knew about Nathaniel. This is a true Israelite, meaning he wasn't a false or a fake Israelite. And the characteristic that made him a real Israelite was that there was no deceit in him. In other words, there was no Jacob in him. That's very important.
So am I wrong today when you are not really a Israelite or Jew and you say you are, that deceit?
Yep, that's deceitful.
It's deceitful.
It's operating under a false identity.
And God is not like that. Let me read it again. Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit.
No Jacob.
Nathanael said to him, how do you know me? Jesus answered and said to him, before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree you just mentioned, I saw you. Nathanael answered him, Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. Jesus answered and said to him, because I said to you, that I saw you under the fig tree, do you believe? You will see greater things than these. And he said to him, this Jesus saying to Nathanael, truly, truly, I say to you, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me read it again. He said to him, truly, truly, I say to you, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. So now you can elaborate on.
Yes. This is again, in the days of Jacob in Genesis, that was a dream that he had after he slept, seeing the ladder extended from heaven to earth and the Lord standing at the pinnacle of the ladder, and angels were ascending and descending. But many evangelicals, many Christians make Jacob the premise, makes him the subject of that dream. And Jesus is making it clear that this is not the dream, this is the reality, that ladder is Jesus. The main premise in John is not Jacob. The main premise in John's gospel is the person of Jesus. That the connection between heaven and earth is not Jacob. It's not Israel. It's not deception. The connection and the ladder between heaven and earth, and the connection between heaven and earth is found only, and I emphasize only, in the person of Jesus.
And that is a great lesson for many things.
Yeah.
In the New Testament versus the Old Testament. So, anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
All right. We will thank you for watching and listening.